Gentlemen, welcome back to Mgtow Money. This, of course, is Mgtow 2.0. Today's topic, what Mgtows can learn from Puas. Before we get to that, let me, of course, sincerely thank the ongoing investment, support from the Patreon investors in this channel. Gentlemen, those Patreon supporters make this channel what it is. I can't thank you enough, all of you Patreon supporters. Also, Patreon supporters, check your email. I sent out an email the other day regarding some ways to put money in your pocket, as well as some ways that can potentially save you some money. In addition, I want to sincerely thank the gentleman who commented, a physician, a gentleman who identified himself as a doctor regarding a book. He recommended a book called How Not to Die by Dr. Michael Greger. I'll include a link in the video description today to that book. It is very good. In addition, I'll include another link to a free book, and that, of course, is Napoleon Hill's classic on Think and Grow Rich. All right, let's get on today's topic. What Mgtows can learn from PUAs. Yes, gentlemen, you can actually learn something from the PUA community. Now, let me be specific here. I recognize, gentlemen, PUAs are a bunch of groveling sycophants who are, frankly, a bunch of pea beggars at the foot of these Aphrodites or perceived to be Aphrodites out there. I get it. I also, though, have spent hours and hours, plural, reading PUA literature, listening to PUA audios, as well as listening to PUA videos. I have a very good understanding of where they're coming from. And just like so many things, gentlemen, as I've mentioned in the past, let's go ahead and discard 80%. But you know what? There's 20% that we, Mgtow, can actually use, that we can actually use to our benefit. Number one, something that the PUAs very correctly emphasize is, of course, get out of your comfort zone, gentlemen. Now, of course, they're encouraging you to talk to women randomly, but I'm enlarging this, gentlemen. I'm looking at this in more of a larger macro view, meaning, gentlemen, be open with other people. Most of you, certainly myself, are shy, or at least we've had to overcome our shyness. I wouldn't say I'm shy anymore, but for a good portion of my life, I was. This is something, it's not a disease, but it's something you can overcome. It's a skill. Just try basic things, gentlemen. Just be a little bit open with strangers. Even just occasionally, ask a stranger for the time. Yes, just say, hey, do you have the time by chance? Something very simple. In addition, when I talk about getting out of your comfort zone, start considering new activities, new sports, clubs, hobbies, whatever. Just push yourself, gentlemen, for this year. We're only a week into the new year, to trying something new, something outside your routine. Again, I get it. This doesn't come naturally for 80% of Mgtow, I'm guessing. But for example, two things that I did last year in 2017, obviously, I started this channel out of nothing. And two, I went to a climbing gym for the first time. And this was something a little bit hesitant for me, frankly, because I had, past tense, a fear of heights. So here's somebody who has a fear of heights going to a climbing gym. You can only imagine how that went. The point is, gentlemen, think of one single thing, one activity that you can do that can push yourself just slightly, just a little bit, 5%, gentlemen, out of your comfort zone. All right, next, there's a huge emphasis on improved health and exercise. You know what, gentlemen? They're right. The PUAs are dead on target with this. I have emphasized to you, gentlemen, there is nothing more important than your health. You need to put down the potato chips and the soda pop and start doing even some basic exercises, some basic things to get yourself in shape. In addition, get your diet regulated. In other words, again, refer to that book that I mentioned, or forget all the books, gentlemen. You know the things that are good for you. I don't need to tell you. It's plainly obvious. The literature is available to anyone that'll look for it. The reason why I emphasize health so much is that not only is it invaluable, in other words, it's literally priceless. Number two, when it comes down to it, gentlemen, and you get sick, you know what? No one's going to take care of you. Yes, your doctor is going to try to take care of you, but ultimately, gentlemen, in particular, particular, you as a Mgtow, you are responsible for yourself. I'm going to put it in 10 words or less. Get ready, gentlemen. Here it is. The universe doesn't give an F about you. Hear me clearly. The universe doesn't give an F about you, especially being a Mgtow, and ultimately, you're responsible for yourself, and especially when it comes to your health. Next, gentlemen, appearance counts. Oh, I know a lot of you are going to be screaming on this one, but I can tell you, gentlemen, if you want to be shown respect when you're out and about, if you want to see service given to you, you are not going to stumble in there with some old wife-beater t-shirt, flip-flops, and with bedraggled hair. My point is not that you need to dress up in a suit or a tuxedo or put on a bunch of expensive clothing, but you need to dress appropriately when you're out and about in public. And I will virtually guarantee you, you will get better service. You will get a higher level of respect. Like it or not, gentlemen, people judge you by your appearance. If nothing else, on the subconscious level. If two people walk into a place of business, one person is nicely dressed, they're cleaned up, the second person walks in and frankly, they look like they just walked out of a homeless shelter and they smell bad. Who do you think is more likely to get a higher level of respect, a higher level of support? Who do you think is going to be more, quite frankly, more quickly waited on, etc.? You draw your own conclusions, gentlemen. In addition, I have read, for example, just using another anecdote here that I've read numerous times, on airlines, the stewardesses, the flight attendants, if you will, are more likely to upgrade men or women who are nicely dressed than those who are not. Now, I'm not saying this is 100% of the time in 100% of cases, but inevitably, this is a frequent idea that has been commonly circulated that most people agree that it does happen, gentlemen. So my point is, you've got to consider that, yes, gentlemen, you are part of the larger community, and this is not about you trying to impress anyone. This is about you impressing yourself and getting something of greater value. In addition, I would say, gentlemen, for those of you who frankly are dealing with mental health issues or just not feeling well, etc., one of the cheapest, easiest antidotes, one of those things that'll make you feel better is, guess what? Clean yourself up, get dressed up, and get out in public. Just walk around dressed up, looking good. I virtually guarantee you, gentlemen, this free drug, if you will make you feel better. All right, gentlemen, let's quickly summarize here. You're going to try something new, and that means anything, whether it be learning a language. How about traveling to a new country and also learning a language before you go, or just try out the new language when you go? How about trying a new sport, some sort of new hobby? I'm not talking about some new video game, but you know what I'm talking about. Something that gets your blood pumping. Get active, gentlemen. Get off the couch. Most importantly, open yourself up to strangers. Open yourself up just slightly. Overcome that shyness. So many of us, that bubble that so many of us are in. Next, health is wealth, of course. Your health, the things that you're doing today, gentlemen, for your health will compound in the future. I can virtually guarantee you, gentlemen, your 60-year-old self will thank your 30-year-old self for exercising, for eating the right foods today, etc. Again, see the video description of today's video for an excellent book, How Not to Die. All right, lastly, clothes do matter. I know many of you are going to find this extremely upsetting, but guess what, gentlemen? I operate in the real world. This whole ZFG, I don't care what people think, etc. Okay, I get it. I was there, I promise you. But I can further promise you, though, you will get a lot further in life. You will get much better service and respect from your fellow human beings, gentlemen, if you will just dress up a little bit, a slight bit. You know what I'm talking about, gentlemen. I don't need to go into details, but you know when you're watching a television show and they show a wealthy person, you know how they're dressed versus quite a bit differently than a poor person or a homeless person. It's not a matter of me being judgmental, gentlemen. It's a matter of me being factual and helping you move on to a rich life. All right, gentlemen, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button if you found that useful. As always, John Galt out.